Yay! Tuesday evening, gentle yoga. Let's begin in a comfortable seat. You might like to elevate your pelvis onto some kind of comfortable prop like a pillow, and then sit slightly towards the front of that so your pelvis just a little bit tilts forward, lifting up through the center of your spine and relaxing your hands in your lap. You might just wiggle around a bit if you need to. Check in with your body, perhaps with the eyes closed. So one of my favorite things to do is before having a meal is to actually look up the health benefits of the plants that I'm eating. And I feel like it just makes the meal that much more gratifying. So instead of food, I decided to look up the benefits of yoga in general, specifically for the brain and the emotions. And perhaps that'll make this practice a little more delicious. So this article is from Yoga Medicine, and it takes from various research studies from UCLA and other reputable institutes. And it says that in yoga, your constant use and practice of control in your postures, breathing, and mental activity results in increased gray matter density and activation in your hippocampus and prefrontal cortex, together allowing you to have better focus and concentration, emotional and impulse control, make you more in tune with your senses and be self-aware, as well as decision-making skills, better at evaluating rewards and consequences, and being more willing to delay gratification. Also, the reduction of gray matter in your amygdala, which is the message processing center of your brain, that plays a critical role in your emotions, especially fear, and how you react to them. Thus, you're better able to relax. According to a study done by UCLA researchers, MRI brain scans show that long-term meditation, like practicing meditation for several years, had more gyrification of their brain's cortex. Since your cerebral cortex is responsible for things like language, reasoning, perception, information processing, memory, and voluntary movement, the increase in gyrification allows for better functioning and faster information processing. Now, during your yoga, your brain releases all sorts of chemicals that not only help you relax, but also stress and anxiety levels, including gamma aminobutyric acid, GABA, and the happiness hormones that we talked about last night, which are dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. During a yoga session, two parts of your brain slow down to allow them to rest. And they are the frontal lobe, which is responsible for thinking, reasoning, and the parietal lobe, which handles all the information coming from your senses. And this helps you to de-stress. Yoga also helps reduce stress by lowering your body's cortisol and adrenaline levels, two critical stress hormones. Several studies were cited noting how yoga also decreases the body's inflammation response. And now that we're in the brain, let's see if we can slow down from whatever your day was like today and just give yourself a break. Be gentle with yourself. Choose the postures that feel good, releasing, knowing that in doing so, you'll have energized yourself in many more ways than one. So now that as you're sitting, from down through the pelvis, lift up through the center of your spine, lifting through the back of your shoulders, soften down. As you allow a deep breath, broad breath, slightly lift the center of it. Exhaling through the mouth, follow the breath out to the very end. Standing tall, take a deeper inhalation. Feel the four walls of your rib cage expand too. Feel the top of the breath, and then through the mouth, exhale slowly. pausing at the very bottom, just for a few seconds, feel that emptiness. Again, deep breath in, filling up as though it were a jar that you were pouring the breath into. Linger at the top of the in-breath for a few seconds. Notice the body remain relaxed. Mouth, empty it completely. And again, hold it out. Now, without pausing, continuously balance the breath through your nose. And one last time, whisper it out to your mouth. Now, closing the lips. If it's comfortable, sustaining it equally. And by gently narrowing the back of your throat, invite a soft, steady whispering sound. Breathing is called pranayama. A way to keep calm, as well as helps steady the mind on. Warm like this and listen to it. You're gonna start to move to the breath. So pressing your hand into your lap, keep firming the pelvis down, lifting the spine. And as you breathe in, begin to circle your torso forward. As you breathe out through the nose, circle the torso back. And that's it. Just a mini breath-led movement. Inhaling forward and exhaling back. Several more rounds. These are actually called Sufi Rolls. Begin to warm up around the base of the spine into the lower back and hips. Switch direction, taking several more cycles of breath. Let your shoulders soften. So if they want to move too, feel free to add some organic movement in the neck and the shoulders. Now come back to center, sitting tall. And if you're crossing your legs, try switching the one that's on top or in front. And then backstroke your left hand behind you on the ground. Raise the right arm, press the pelvis down, and breathe, lifting from the lower spine through the crown. Relax the shoulders, and at your waistline, start to twist to your left. Lowering your right hand to catch hold of your left leg or the outside of that thigh. Lift the chest, keep lengthening the spine as you breathe in. Continue to twist as you breathe out. Remember that the word asana, the Sanskrit word, means a comfortable and steady pose, especially as we practice being gentle with ourselves. Find that balance of being able to breathe deeply and calmly, feel some shift or stretch in the body, but still feeling good, not overexerting or pushing beyond limit. As you exhale, release the spine. Backstroke your right hand behind you on the floor and raise the left arm. From down to your pelvis, breathe in, lift up through your spine. Exhale at your waistline, begin to twist to the right. Lower your left hand to catch hold of your leg or to press the back of the hand against your right outer thigh. Each inhale, lift up through each vertebra as though you're restacking them like blocks. As you exhale, continue to rotate the rib cage as your pelvis remains still, so that we're centering the twist just below your bottom ribs. One last breath here. Now as you exhale, unwind the spine and bring the soles of your feet together in front of you, bending the knees apart. Bound angle pose, great for opening the lower back and the hips. So catch hold of either your big toes or your outer feet and keep rooting the pelvis down so that you can rebound a lift up again through your chest and spine. Breathe in. And then extend your chest forward. Exhale, hinge from your hips just a little bit, then pause. From down through the pelvis as you rebound, lift and lengthening through the spine as you inhale. Exhale, maybe fold another little bit and keep going for a few more breaths. If you prefer, you could walk your hands onto the ground in front of you. Make sure that you're not over bending where it starts to round the shoulders and close up the neck, close up the throat. If that's starting to happen, back off a little bit. Find a slight lift at the middle of your chest and a natural space between chin and chest. Let's listen to 2 more deep breaths. And walk your hands closer to your feet and lead with your chest. Firm your belly. Inhale to lift your spine. Let's start to make our way up to standing. I like to move a little bit. Of course, it's a gentle flow before we hold postures a little longer that are more deep. So come on up to stand and we'll use some of our Tai Chi to get us gently moving. So set your feet a little wider than hip distance. Parallel your feet, spread the toes, and really just feel the ground under the soles of your feet. Find a sense of buoyancy in your knees, slightly bending, maybe even gently bouncing up and down. Feel that ease in the shoulders as you lift the spine tall. And now start to raise the arms up, reaching up towards the open sky above. Begin to press the palms downward towards the earth below. Feel your feet against the earth. Step 1 foot behind you just slightly and reach the arms forward. Palms face each other and begin to open the arms slowly wide apart, tracing the horizon before you. Step that back foot forward to meet the other and slowly bring the palms towards each other. Then towards the center of your chest, symbolizing the open horizon within you. As the palms face forward, take 2 soft steps forward, a gesture of action and giving. Take 2 steps back, a gesture of observing the effects of your action and receiving. Cross 1 palm in front of your torso, turning the chest for a gentle spinal twist. Sending your light. Cross the other arm in front of your chest, twisting at your waist, sending your love. Then as though you were embracing a huge tree in the sequoias, reach the arms towards your heart. This is a gesture of embracing the tiger, which signifies all of life's challenges that you've overcome. Press the palms down towards the earth. Feel the feet on the ground as you stand a little taller, returning to the mountain. Stability. Then we're going to walk in a circle, circling the arms towards the belly and out. All of the circles signifying cycles of life, cycles of nature, all the various cycles that reminds us to trust the process of life. And then as you come back to where you're standing, let the torso twist, bend the knees slightly, and as your arms just gently tap right below the belly button, chi source, prana source. Just feel that activation, navel center. As you stand tall, place the left hand at the middle of your chest, the right hand just below the belly button. Feel your feet on the earth like roots below the surface. Lift up through the crown, take a deep breath in and out through the nose. So let's try that whole process one more time. Just continue to breathe evenly through the nose. With the arms by your sides, let's begin. Inhale the arms up, acknowledging the open sky above. Exhale the palms towards the earth, acknowledging the ground below. 1 step back, arms begin to trace the open horizon before you. Bring that step forward, arms come together towards the heart, acknowledging open horizon within you. 2 steps forward, acting, giving. 2 steps back, observing, receiving. Cross 1 palm in front, sending your light. Cross the other palm in front, sending your love. A giant embrace of the tiger. Palms face the earth, stand tall and return to the mountain. Circle around as you circle the arms, acknowledging all of life's processes, nature's cycles, with trust. As you come back to where you were, begin a twist, tapping your navel, feeling the strength within. Place your left hand at your chest, the right hand at the lower belly. Close your eyes, feel your roots digging into the earth as you rise tall towards the sky. Deep breath in, slow breath out. Now, as you stand at the top of your mat, separating your feet about hips distance apart, parallel. With an inhale, circle the arms overhead, a salutation to the setting sun. With an exhale, bend the knees generously, bowing with a feeling of a flat back. Press your fingertips onto your legs, but not on your knees. And inhale, lift the chest, lengthen the spine forward. Exhale, bow a little bit more. Firming down through your feet, sweep the arms overhead, inhaling to rise. Again, saluting the palms. Touch. Exhale, bring that acknowledgement of energy source to your heart center. Let's try that twice more. In half sun salutation. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Keep relaxing the shoulders. Exhale, bow forward. Bend your knees as much as you need to not strain your back. Press your legs and inhale, lengthen your spine parallel to the earth. Exhale, bow again. Root down through your feet. Inhale, circle your arms and rise tall. Palms touch in salutation. Exhale, bring them together at your hearts. Last one. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, bow forward. Press your legs. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, bow again. Circle the arms. Inhale, rise tall. Gaze up. Exhale, join your palms to meet at your hearts. From here, let's lower down onto hands and knees. We're gonna move the spine a bit in a few rounds of cat-cow. So set your knees directly under your hips, but set your wrists about 2 inches ahead of your shoulders so the spine has space to move around. Now let's stretch also the wrists by spinning out your hands to whatever degree feels good. Fingertips towards outer edges of your mat or towards the rear. Now beginning cow pose, as you breathe in, glide your chest forward and coil it up, looking towards the sky as you relax the shoulders down. Exhaling into cat pose, contract your belly, dropping your skull, tuck the tailbone under your body. Again, inhale, glide forward, then coil your chest up. Exhale, contract your belly to dome your back. Take about 3 to 5 more cycles of breath, really nice and slow, gentle and smooth. Enjoying the feeling of marrying your movement to your breath. And how that in itself can be a simple meditation. Allowing the outside world and whatever responsibilities come with it, just be set aside for now as you enjoy being in your body in this present moment. Relax to a neutral spine. Turn your index fingers to face forward so they're parallel to each other. Begin to bend the elbows towards the rear wall, lowering your chin to the mat. Then slide your chest and belly to the ground, lowering your pelvis until your legs are straight, back, and flat. Rest your forehead on the ground for a moment and feel that your ankles are your hips distance apart. And as you're actively pointing your toes, try to press every toenail onto the ground so much that your knees are actually lifted off the floor.
Now, keeping your feet parallel as you do that, let's come into a gentle back bend called Sphinx. Slide your elbows forward, lifting your chest off the ground until your elbows are just slightly in front of your shoulders. Your forearms are parallel on the floor in front. The palms are face down. Now keep the active energy in your legs, which helps to support the length of your lower back. Now, keeping your forearms still, imagine as if you're dragging them towards your hips. So the action is the shoulder heads move behind you and you melt your shoulder blades down your back. Taking about 3 more breaths, use the inhale to let your collarbone smile. From the center at your sternum, broaden through the shoulder heads, slightly lifting the middle of your chest. Making sure you're not cranking the neck and straining to look up. Look slightly down and lengthen the back of your neck as you relax your eyes. 1 more deep breath here in Sphinx pose. Now set your chest to the ground and lower your forehead. Let's plant the hands outside of your mat so they're in line with your shoulders. Come up high on your fingertips. Bend your elbows wide apart, 90-degree angles. And now keep the activity of your legs firming down every toenail. Pelvis stays on the floor. And as you breathe in, lightly coil your chest up and slide the shoulder blades down your back ribs. As you breathe out, look over your right shoulder and see if you can rotate it further behind you and down. Inhale, look forward again, lifting the chest. Exhale, look over your left shoulder and circle it behind you and down. Now take a few more breaths. Any kind of movement that feels good in your shoulders, you might continue this, or turning the head like you're shaking it no, or perhaps a circle around chin to chest. Really just adding some warmth and mobility into an area of the body that can tense and feel stiff very easily. Deep breath in. Hear the breath out through your nose. Then from here, set your hands beside your lowest ribs and bending your knees, slide your pelvis back to your heels, coming into child's pose. Let your feet come together to touch. Separate your knees as wide apart as it allows your pelvis to easily drop down to your heels so that you can feel a delicious stretch in your lower back. Reach the arms forward so that your hands are at least your shoulders width apart. Then imagine your fingertips were trying to reach for something ahead as you draw your pelvis further back and down. Also the shoulders back and down. Breathe into your side ribs. Feel the sides of your torso lengthen. Breathe across your lower back. Feel your sacrum broaden. Breathe across your upper back, spreading the shoulder blades apart. Lengthening the top of your head forward. Let's be here for 3 more breaths. Grounding in Balasana, child's pose. Now keep your pelvis heavy close to your feet and begin to walk your hands to the right side, reaching outside of your mat if you can. Lengthening the left side of your torso. Now, if you want to go even further, you could bend the right elbow towards the sky and press the right fingertips on the ground, adding more leverage to reach right. You might close your eyes and visualize deeper breaths into the left side of your lungs. Relaxing the left side of your lower back, that deep muscle called the quadratus lumborum. Massage the breath in for 1 more breath. Then slowly walk your hands onto your mat, switching over to the left. See if you can reach outside of your mat. And if you want more intensity in the stretch, if it's necessary, you could bend your left elbow towards the sky and press your left fingertips on the ground. Now you might visualize breathing deeper into the right side of your lungs and down into the right side of your lower back. So that as you breathe out, those areas soften. They let go of any holding. Massage the breath in. Feel expansion there. And let the breath out. 2 more breaths. Now walk your hands through center. Place your hands on the outsides of your knees. Tuck your chin towards your chest. And as you breathe in, slowly roll your spine upright. So grab a strap if you do have one. And if you don't, we can make do without it. We're going to come into Gomukhasana, opening up the lower back and the outer hips just a little bit more. So as you sit with your legs in front of you, extend your left leg forward. Take your right thigh and cross it over your left thigh as much as you can so that maybe you could stack your knees down your midline. Now, either keep your left leg straight or bend your left knee too and splay your feet wider apart. Choose the one that allows your hips to be evenly grounded and your spine easily upright. Now, if the feet are apart, gently flex them both. Now, with your right leg on top, take hold of the strap in your left hand so that the tail hangs out behind you. Otherwise, raise your left arm if you don't have a strap, and then rotate your left tricep slightly to face forward, which helps to broaden across the top of that shoulder, pressing the left shoulder blade down. Bring your left bent elbow behind your skull. Land your left palm between your shoulder blades. Now, if you don't have a strap, catch hold of your shirt there. Reach your right hand underneath behind you, catching hold of your shirt or the other end of the strap. Walk your hands as close together as you can. Now, if you're able to, you could clasp your fingers and let go of the strap or your shirt. Firm your left and right sitting bones down. And as you take a deep breath, lift through the center of your spine, broadening your chest. Slide the shoulders down, lift the heart. Then exhale, begin to hinge forward from your hips, just a little bit each breath. So that as you take this in slow motion, you can explore the depth of your forward fold that honors integrity in both your breath and the length of your spine. Relaxing the shoulders away from your neck, opening the space between your chin and chest. We'll be here in cow face pose or Gomukhasana for 3 more deep breaths. Now start to lift from the middle of your chest. Inhale, slowly rise up. Release your arms, release your legs straight, and just add any movement that feels good, like rotating the shoulders, rotating your feet, pulling the thighs inward and outward, maybe circling the hands. And then thigh, cross it over the right thigh as much as you can so your knees stack. Either keep your right leg straight underneath or bend both knees, splay the feet wider apart and gently flex them. Just make sure that your pelvis is evenly grounded, your spine is upright. Now with your left leg on top, raise your right arm. If you have a strap, dangle it behind you. Rotate your right outer upper arm slightly to face forward, broadening the top of that shoulder. Then press the right shoulder down.
Bring your elbow behind the back of your head and let your right palm land between your shoulder blades. Reach the left hand underneath behind you, catching the other end of the strap, or both hands holding your shirt. Walk your hands as close together as you can. Maybe they clasp. Then as you root down to your pelvis, take a deep breath, lift through the center of your spine, broaden and lift your chest. Exhale, hinge a little bit forward from your hips. Pause, from down through the pelvis again, and breathe in. Keep lengthening your spine. Exhale, you might fold a little deeper. Continuing this, let's take about 5 more breaths. Remember, finding the depth of the posture that allows your breath to feel relaxed and deep. Your body feels relaxed. As you enjoy some kind of opening in it. Now start to lift from the middle of your chest. Inhale to rise up. Release the arms, extend the legs forward, and again add some movement that feels good. Maybe a soft shake of the body. So keep your left leg forward, bend your right knee and turn it open so that you can bring the sole of your right foot high on your inner left thigh, preparing for Janu Shirshasana. Now if you have a strap, step the ball of your left foot into it, whether into the loop or the middle of the strap, holding the strap with 2 hands. If you don't have a strap, bring your hands to the ground, framing your left leg. Either way, flex your left foot and press the big toe mound forward. Ground the pelvis, sit up tall again, breathe in. Keep relaxing the shoulders, aim the center of your chest towards your left pinky toe as you fold breath by breath with a long spine. Physically, this posture helps to open up your hamstring as well as your right hip here and your lower back. So flexing your left foot, allow your left quadricep, front of the thigh, to engage, supporting your hamstring to lengthen. Let's take 3 more breaths in head to knee pose. Start from the middle of your chest to inhale, rise up slowly. Let's extend the right leg forward. You can put the strap around the ball of that foot if you're using one. Bring the sole of your left foot high on your inner right thigh. Flex your right foot either way. If no strap, frame your right leg with your hands. Press downward to your pelvis to lift upward through your spine as you breathe in. Aiming the middle of your chest towards your right pinky toe, start to hinge from your hips, breath by breath. So if you're holding a strap, I find it helpful to bend the elbows apart so that you can continue to slide the shoulder blades down your back. Here in Janu Shirshasana, let's take 3 more breaths. Lead from the center of your chest and inhale to rise up. Nice. So let's put the strap aside. Find that rolled up blanket, nice firm, smooth roll, long blanket or long log, and then grab your 2 blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can use your pillow and cross it towards the rear edge of your mat. This is to lift the chest. We're going to be in a supported Supta Baddha Konasana, supine bound angle pose. It's a restorative posture we'll be in for a few minutes. So if you have 2 blocks, place one block on the tallest height all the way at the rear of your mat. That's going to support your skull. The second block, medium height, the second level, crossing your mat. Space the blocks apart so that as your pelvis remains on the floor, you could lie back, don't lie back just yet, and land so that the lower block is just right under the bottom tips of your shoulder blades. It should feel comfortable in that it helps your chest to lift, your shoulders to release down towards the ground away from your neck. Now, before you lie back, we're going to use this rolled up towel. Bend the knees apart. We're coming back to Supta Baddha Konasana or bound angle pose. Cross the middle of that log right on top of your inner feet. Tuck the edges of the log underneath your outer thighs. So this should feel like you're being cuddled. It should feel nice and warm and nurturing. And it supports your hips so that it's as effortless of a pose as possible. Now, if you have a blanket or a pillow, set that aside because you might want to add it in a moment. Go ahead and lie back, making sure that where the blocks are holding your weight feels very comfortable. So you might have to shift them around a little bit. You don't want the blocks to be underneath your neck. You want your neck to feel free and spacious. Feel that your 2 shoulder heads are evenly rolling downward and your collarbones are easily broadening. Chest is rising, lower back feels free and relaxed. And then turn your palms to face up with your arms slightly away from your sides, resting the backs of your hands on the ground. Check in with your feet. Feel that your toes are relaxed, your ankles, thighs. Relax your glutes. Let your stomach soften. Feel your rib cage supported. Feel the natural curve of your neck. Feel the weight of your arms. Bones in your arms be heavy. Relax your fingers. Feel the weight of your skull. Unravel any tension from the scalp. Softening your forehead, your eyebrows. Soften your cheeks, your jaw, and relax your tongue. Before we completely let go of controlling the breath, we're just going to slow the exhale down slightly longer than the in-breath. I'll count from 5 as you breathe in, filling up your belly and your rib cage gently. I'll count from 7. As you breathe out, you might choose to exhale through the mouth to cool the body down further. So let's begin. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now let go of controlling your breathing. As we lie here for 2 more minutes, you might like to place your blanket, if you have an extra one, or pillow, just on top of your pelvis, as the weight of it can feel grounding and comforting too. Now, as you let your body remain still, breathe in through the nose slowly. Breathe out through the lips slowly. Just preparing the body to slowly move out of this pose. We're going to do it very gradually. Begin to circle out the hands. You might like to stretch the arms overhead. Maybe even catch hold of opposite elbows if that feels good. And switching the other elbow on top if you're doing that. And bring the arms down by your sides. If you have something on your pelvis, like a pillow, go ahead and set it aside. Take hold of that rolled up blanket that's tucked under your outer thighs and just pull it out gently from underneath. Take hold of your outer thighs with your hands and slowly lift your knees to step both feet onto the ground. Separate your feet a little wider than your hips distance. Then let your knees drop inward together to touch. Now it might feel good to rest your hands onto your belly. We're just going to pause here for a few breaths, softly stretching across your lower back. Keep relaxing your two shoulders towards the ground, softening the sides of your neck and the tops of your shoulders. Take one more breath here. And begin to turn over to your right side so that you can remove the blocks from under your body or whatever's under your body and lie down on the floor onto your back. Once you are lying on your back, slide your left leg forward onto the ground and hug your right thigh close to your chest. As you bring it closer and closer, relax your two shoulders on the earth. Feel the natural length and curve of your neck. And we're just here gently opening into your left hip flexor and your groins. You might like to add some movement in your right foot, like circling it a few rounds, both directions, pointing and flexing your right foot. Breathing in, breathing out, aware of your breath. Now bend your left knee and set your left foot on the floor. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh like a figure four. Now with your right hand, press the top inner side of your right thigh that's close to the hip crease and just gently help that right thigh to splay open as you softly flex your right foot to stabilize your right knee. Try to evenly ground the back of your left and right hips. Now keeping this shape in your legs, open your right arm wide onto the floor, keeping that right shoulder rooted down. Begin to drop your legs to the left. Now maintain that shape as they fall over to the left, very slowly. Now, if you're feeling like, okay, that's enough, and they haven't fallen all the way over, you could put your pillow or blocks to catch underneath your left thigh and the sole of your right foot. Otherwise, let them fall all the way to the ground until the sole of your right foot is standing on the ground. Now, we're keeping that same figure four shape. Using your left hand, press gently the inner top right thigh, that same area that you were just pressing with your right hand. Just gently press it away from your belly so that right knee continues to point up towards your ceiling. And you might feel some release in
your lower back. Breathe in. Breathe out deeply. Relaxing the shoulders away from your ears. We'll be in this position about 5 more cycles of deep breaths. Transition very slowly to lift your left knee again, setting your left foot onto the mat. Then step your right foot onto the mat and slide your right leg forward on the ground. Hug your left thigh close to your chest. Still relaxing the shoulders. Bring it in, breath by breath. You might want to move your left foot, stretching the ankle. Circling in both directions. Feel the free flow of your breath. Long inhale, long exhale. Then bend your right knee and set your right foot onto the ground. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh like a figure 4 shape. Flex your left foot gently to stabilize your left knee. Use your left hand. Place it on the inside top of your left thigh that's close to your inner hip crease. And gently encourage your left thigh to splay open. Now feel the back of your left and right hips. Try to evenly ground them, just like your 2 shoulders. Still feeling the depths of your breaths. Now keep the shape in your legs and open your left arm wide onto the floor, keeping the left shoulder grounded. Very slowly, drop your legs to the right and know that if they don't want to fall all the way to the ground, you could place any of your props like a platform to land on. Sole of your left foot pressing downwards so your left knee is upright facing the sky. Right leg still bent is collapsed to the right. Now take your right hand, find that same spot on your inner top left thigh, close to the inner hip crease, and gently press the inner thigh forward away from your belly. Breathe in deeply. Breathe out slowly. Using your calm, deep breaths to communicate to your body that it's okay to let go. Let's give the lower back space to unravel for 3 more deep breaths. Now release the right hand and slowly roll onto your back again. Bend both knees apart, coming into frog pose. So imagine you're squatting, but you're lying on your back. You can use your hands to gently guide your inner thighs to splay apart. Try to keep your pelvis heavy on the floor. Tailbone towards the ground, shoulders heavy on the ground. So your knees are bent about 90 degrees out to the sides. Flexing your feet can help if your knees are sensitive, so it stabilizes their alignment. Now you could rest your arms on top of your inner thighs, helping that hip open. As you continue to slow your breath down, let your body relax into opening the hips. Scan the rest of your body, like your face. Give every part permission to contribute to the feeling of ease and letting go. Let's give space for this process for 5 more deep breaths. Bring your hands to your outer thighs, and like you're slowly closing a book, draw your knees together. Whew, and into your chest. You might want to circle the knees together or apart. Any kind of movement. You might even just splay the arms wide and let your legs move on their own. Massaging your lower back and glutes into the ground. What can feel really good is to pretend you're holding a marker between your knees and draw some figure 8s onto the sky. Keeping your breath fluid. Now set your feet onto the ground. Take one of your yoga blocks by the lowest height. Lift your pelvis up and slip that block just underneath the flat part of your lower back. Make sure it's in a comfortable spot. It's not too high up towards your rib cage, nor too low towards the bottom edge of your glutes. And then just resting on that block, you're in supported bridge pose. But if you prefer more of an inversion to stimulate blood flow, you can raise the legs up and you're in a supported shoulder stand. And again, it might feel calming to let your arms rest on top of your belly. Relax the shoulders down. Free the natural space in your neck. Take a few last deep exhales to your mouth. Perhaps some nice long sighs. Or fluttering your lips, massaging your mouth. Then let go of controlling your breath. Gently step 1 foot at a time onto the floor. Lifting your pelvis, slide the block out from underneath, carefully lowering your spine. Now, if you have any stiffness in your lower back still, or you just want some extra support for it, take hold of that long log that you rolled up, that blanket or that towel, and place it across your mat right underneath the backs of your knees as you stretch the legs to splay out. Let your feet flop open naturally so that rolled up blanket supports a gentle bend in your knees, which can feel relief in your lower back. Now you can rest the palms to face up in a gesture of openness and receiving, acknowledging that the benefits of your yoga practice continue after this hour. As you let go of controlling your breathing, let your body sink deeper and deeper into a freeing state of relaxation. Allow your mind to fall into a deeper state of peace. As your body remains still, your eyes closed, if you have time to stay longer in Shavasana, feel free not to move. You can continue even past the end of our practice. Otherwise, start to wake up your body with gentle, loving movements. Maybe turning the head, ease into a stretch that feels good for you. Maybe you keep your eyes closed as you might gather your knees into your chest, feeling the warmth of your own embrace. You might even whisper to yourself, "Thank you for doing this."
then turn over to your right side, resting your head for a moment. Until you feel ready to press the ground and lift your torso, slowly lift your head. So that once you are sitting, you allow yourself 1 full minute to sit in your own presence, giving yourself your full attention. Breathe naturally here. Slowly bring your palms to touch at your heart. Lift your heart. Feel your groundedness, your upliftedness. As you bow in, let's close our practice together, chanting one Om. Take a deep breath. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.